Just my backyard. Just a view. It's not like you can see the best of the view, but just a little bit. But just wanted to drop another video. I got a bunch of videos about a bunch of different crap on my channel. If you come across my channel, you find any value, leave a comment, like, subscribe, share. Say, Rob, I think what you're saying is a bunch of BS. Because I get a lot of people say that kind of stuff too, because I work in the home-based business industry, arena, whatever you want to call it. A lot of people think what I do is a bunch of bullshit, and a lot of people actually follow what I do. I've used what I do to pay off 6 figures of debt within 9 months, whereas a normal job anywhere would never have allowed me to do that. So just adjusting the view here. But the main thing I wanted to share was to really make money online, it requires a huge shift of philosophy. So basically, growing up, I used to be a real Christian. I used to be real into Christianity, let's just say. And, you know, growing up, I had an abusive stepfather. And so that was my way of, I guess, escaping. Getting out from that, I got into the Marine Corps, spent 12 years. And that's a very regimented, very mechanical lifestyle. It's very programmed. And all these will make sense here in a second. So I went from that to the Marine Corps, which is very programmed, very structured, a very direct way of living. Maybe not so much direct, but maybe controlled is a better way of looking at it. I don't know. From there, got married. Then I went to a religious, I'm going to use the word cult loosely here. But basically, I went to a real Bible-based church. So the Christianity I went through is from celebrating Christmas, Easter, Christmas trees, and all that kind of stuff to where did all of these holidays come from. They, you know, when you research the Christmas tree, when you research the Easter bunny, all that kind of stuff, where did it all come from? So I went from that to the cult, to the divorce, which was life-changing, which ultimately led me out of the Marine Corps and into the home-based business industry. So the reason I say all of that was just to kind of let you know, short snapshot of what I went through and how I came about to making it in the home-based business industry. And I had to keep looking at the camera, not the center here. So you're taking all that into effect. Understand that a lot of people who are top earners in home-based businesses, whatever it is, affiliate marketing, network marketing, internet marketing, have all experienced some sort of, not all of them, but most of them have experienced some shift. So in my case, spent 12 years in the Marine Corps. I was a careerist. I got out because of the divorce and different things, and that kind of forced me along a different path. A lot of people get into this industry not because they just want to make money, but just because they want to change in some aspect of their life. And it's going to require a change of philosophy. You can't just take, I made a post on social media the other day, you can't take a person who's been earning, you know, call it $36,000 to $40,000 a year, their whole career, put them into a business and then expect them to succeed, expect them to make 6 figures, even expect them to make $36,000 to $40,000 a year. And there's a lot of people who do that. They get into this industry, they've earned at a max their whole adult life, maybe $45,000, $50,000 a year. They get into the home-based business industry with that same mindset, that same programming, and then they immediately want to make 6 figures when they never have ever made 6 figures before in a job anywhere. So it takes a shift. And the reason I said all those other things is because those were every major change from joining the Marine Corps. I wanted to change. There was something significant going on. I just felt like I was in chains at home at 18, and I just needed to break out, and the Marine Corps was my way out. Getting into the Marine Corps, but that's just trading one set of bars for another set of bars. And so in the Marine Corps, I got to check my time here. In the Marine Corps, it's with you 24/7. You can't just check in and check out. Once you check out Friday night, you're not a Marine anymore. No, you're a Marine 24/7, 365. What you do on your off time will, affect you and get you in trouble and things like that on your on time, and vice versa. I mean, it's just, you just can't escape from that lifestyle. And it becomes, and I don't say bars, because some people need that structure in their life, and I understand it and recognize that, and it was a positive thing for me. But when you just feel like you're just growing and you hit your ceiling, because I hit a glass ceiling in Marine Corps. I got in trouble after my divorce and things like that, and I just knew there's different ways to go about building a lifestyle, and having this one thing dominate my whole life wasn't it. And it was the same thing in a religious cult I was in. It was just like, that church is everything. You go to Bible study and you go to church at, 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning on a Sunday, and you leave church 8 or 9 o'clock at night. You do 3 services, and then you do Bible studies the whole time. So it's just like for lack of a better term, indoctrination into their philosophy. So it's just, I just traded that one all-consuming thing for another, and then finally get to a point to where now that all-consuming thing is my own development, financially, spiritually, emotionally, physically, but not subscribing to any one way of thinking, if that makes sense. And so, same thing, getting out. I was in 6 figures of debt because I didn't want to pay my child support, because I was angry at my ex-wife for not allowing me to see the kids. This was all decisions I made. I got myself in that situation. I knew I had to get to a point to change my thinking so I could eventually become the person to pay off that debt. And I ended up paying it off within 9 months, because I had to change how I was thinking. I could not think inside a box. I could not think inside of constraints that I put myself in. And so that's where this whole development thing is coming from. You can't just expect to expand or get better results in your life, business, whatever it is, and still have the same thinking that puts you in that same situation. And that's, where I got into, developing on all fronts, on the food I'm starting to eat, and here's another thing. I ate a lot. I still have issues eating meat. I typical Midwestern boy, raised on chicken, steak, potatoes, all that kind of stuff, to now transitioning to vegetarian. I'm still in that transition. Ultimately, I would like to go vegan, just because of my own philosophy is changing. But that's a whole part of this whole example thing. And even the businesses that people have, that I have in my system, they all fit within a certain philosophy. It's not just picking random biz ops to promote and push. Promosh is that combination. Just picking different programs to put together to have a system to create independence from the machine, if you will. And then once I have that independence, I have time to think, time to grow, time to contribute and give back. And that's what ultimately I feel this whole thing is about. So people getting into the home-based business, you're going to go through these steps before you succeed. You're going to have to find what your voice is, what different things you're going through. Number one, you're going to have to create time freedom, so you can have time to think, to get back your time so you can reflect on these things. And it's going to require a shift in thinking. And then number two, to get to the next level, once you get into profit and income and full-time working for yourself from home, you're going to have to continue to expand yourself, expand your philosophies, expand your ways of thinking to really get to those higher levels. Because in my case, I was, if only I could, get in front of certain people. Now it's just like, it's all becoming an ego thing. People showing, the lifestyle and different things like that. I'm making 6 figures and I drive a 2005 Chevy Avalanche, but I could pick up and go wherever I want to on my own terms. You know, I'm not showing the brand new car or, you know, driving BMWs or things like that, because it's an ego thing. And it's just, once you get rid of that ego, then you start relaxing. You're not subscribing to other people's little boxes. Same thing, Marine Corps, certain way of thinking. That cult, certain way of thinking. Getting a BMW and showing, you know, flashing money and different things like that, you're still subscribing to other people's ways of thinking. You see what I'm saying? So it just requires a stepping back, changing your philosophy, looking at the bigger picture, and really striving and growing and contributing. And then once you start taking those steps, you become your higher self, your better self. Your income will rise as a result, because your vibration will rise. Your philosophy changes. You become more compassionate, things like that. So any which way, wrapping this video up, I'm at 11 minutes. So I'm going to show you the view here. Those trees back there need haircuts, but anyway, that's just my own little thing there. So any which way, Rob Fraser here. Questions, comments, concerns, leave them below the video. Like, comment, say, Rob, you're full of shit, leave it underneath the video. If you agree with me, subscribe to the channel, let me know your thoughts. Also, if you're interested in the system that I use to create my own freedom, the link is in the description in the YouTube video as well. See you in the next video. If I can find the stop button, there it is.